so so then the photograph we see. So what happened was that private citizens, these white individuals, would go in and do what to these sit-in demonstrators? Because most of the time they were just sitting there attempting to order, refuse service, and they continued to sit there.
Exactly.
So what would happen after
and
that?
that's what happened in Greensboro. And they just sat for
they
hours.
just sat for hours,
and then came back the next day.
Next day, right.
In this case, for the first hour, now there were 3 individuals, and I should mention all of them were from Tougaloo College, which is right outside of Jackson, historically black college, right outside of Jackson, which was a real hotbed for activism in the 60s. 3 black students came in, sat down. For the first hour, nothing happened because the police didn't come in. Now everybody expected they would just, ignore the Supreme Court order and come in and arrest them. So for the first hour, the only thing that was going on is the press was talking to them. But at about the noon hour, people started coming in for lunch. The manager had closed the counter, and people were starting to get upset. And a lot of kids from the local high school happened to come in, and things got out of hand. They started first they started pouring ketchup and mustard on them to kind of degrade them. There was a one individual who got knocked off his stool by a local thug, I guess we'll call him, former police officer, came in and didn't like what he saw, went up to the one black male, knocked him off his stool, started kicking him and stomping him, really stomping on his body. And then finally an undercover police officer came up and arrested him and arrested
both?
The demonstrator and the attacker. Right.
Arrested both of them?
Both of them. The attacker for assault and the demonstrator for breach of the peace.
Breach of the peace.
Right.
Breach of the peace. For sitting there peacefully.
For laying on the floor and getting stomped.
And getting stomped.
Right,
breach of the peace. Wow.
Right.
And then, now this was, let's point something out. I'm always fond of saying that that a moment is different than a movement.